We're finally getting NCD as an echo skill, and the Ephraim dev has dressed up Eirika yet again. This is really fun. We're going to look at this. Let's jump into Amelia, though, and this unit is long awaited, and you, of course, get the Ascendant Flower with this. Is this unit any good, though? And we're going to look at what this does. This is a Far Savior. We haven't had one of these since Valentine's Day. They're normally kind of stingy with these. First up, we have Grado Lance, and I'm going to pull this up here. So, Grado Lance has Slaying. If unit is within 2 spaces of allies at start of turn, grants to self and allies defense +6. We have Special Acceleration. We have Neutralizes foes bonuses. Lulls are very good. If within 3 spaces of an ally at start of combat, grants Omni 5 plus number of allies times 3, max of 14. 14 is a very, very big number. Neutralizes units penalties, 40% DR for first hit. Okay, that all sounds a little bit bland, to tell you the truth. The state of tanks right now is insane, and this has a lot of pieces that you want, but there are some things missing. And let's move on here. We've got Armored Beacon, which is very good. Then we have Obsidian Tactics, and this is if foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at start of combat, you get an Omni +9. And here's where things fall apart just a little bit. With 1 bonus, you get attack defense minus number of bonuses times 2 for a max of -12. With 3 bonuses, you get DC, and with 5 bonuses, you get 50% DR piercing. Okay, so why is this a problem? And if you remember, right now we have prime skills, and everyone rejoiced, and then things like Safi and Nurgle, particularly Nurgle, came out. If this unit gets hit once by anyone who has Essence Drain, everything goes away and they're basically free. And Nurgle is everywhere because he's very, very powerful. Even past that, I'm not sure this unit really stands up to Emblem Ike. I mean, not many do, but also to a unit we'll see in just a bit in Eirika. So, I mean, listen, you can do something with this unit, I promise. I'm a little worried about it. Let's go and see what else this unit has, though. It's nice to have the preference A. We have the Clever Fighter, which is kind of a savvy fighter build on here. Inflicts attack speed -4 on foe, neutralizes, that's the no follow-up clause, increases the speed difference necessary for foe to make a follow-up attack by 10 during combat. We've seen this is very valuable. And also, if unit speed is greater than or equal to foe speed -10, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 10 during combat. And that's a brave deal. Okay, so the biggest issue with this unit, other than getting things taken away from her, is the fact that right now we aren't really in a speed-based meta. Like, you need to dump everything you possibly have into bulk, because the nukes right now are all really geared towards taking out Ike. Now, because of that, if we look at where she's ranking, that's why I have her in tier 1. And it's the top of tier 1, but understand Far Saviors in general are fairly low. Now, there could be someone who comes out with a fantastic way to use this unit, but the fact that she is dependent on bonuses and they are easily taken away right now is a problem. The fact that she is going to have to dump a lot of her bulk stats into her speed in order to keep that up is another problem. It's tough to deal with. So, I mean, Amelia fans, and I'm looking at you, Swiftsy, this is definitely a unit you can use. This is a lot of fun. I think it's going to be tough for this unit to compete at the tip top of the meta. And in particular, AoEs are going to be a huge problem, but they're a huge problem for everyone. We do have Lumera to kind of band-aid that up, but she really needed more Daunts, and that was the biggest thing. And the fact that you can take away her distant counter so easily is problematic. Now, I've said a lot of negative things. Understand that tier 1 is still good. You can still use Amelia, I promise, but the bar is really, really high right now for tanks. So next we have Forde, and this is an interesting archetype that we haven't seen for a bit, and it's the bulky Cav. If you think about the old units that used to go in on defense and they would have swap or drag back or something, and they would survive because, I mean, you just saw 38 to defense and speed, and then pull you back and mess up your supports or drag you in a more favorable position, like onto a trap or something. I think this is a missed opportunity for us to have some kind of upgraded drag back in the B skill, but this is still a neat unit. And let's go over Wild Wind Sword. This has slaying at the start of player enemy phase, debuff self, -7 speed and defense. We've seen this a ton. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants Omni +5 plus Omni Unity. Omni Unity is very good, especially looking at the A skill there. But again, this unit is really focusing on bulk as opposed to killing power. So this unit is going to be very fun and have some interesting things. Looking further, I mean, I really wish this would have had drag back. I think this would have been so neat. Other things you get from this, you get deals damage equals total penalties on unit times 1.5. That's a lot of true damage. So, I mean, that is very good. NFU and 40% DR on first hit. What I'm not seeing is piercing. You could do no quarter, but it's a hard thing to get that procced on things like calves. It's not impossible, but it is harder. So I like this unit. I like speed defense unity. This is a new thing. This is if unit is within 2 spaces, grants speed defense +5 and bonus to speed defense during combat equals current penalty on those stats ×2. Fantastic. And then it works just like the other unity skills in that respect, just with 2 stats. Unity has always been really good, and this doesn't change that. It's better on nukes, and it's what I've got this unit as. I really like these near trace 4 skills. The problem is, I think for how premium they are, they're not up to the premium level. You know, the B skills are really competitive, and so it's so hard to get these, and they're not just amazing. But the Kanto remaining is nice. Minimum of 2 is excellent. You get the debuffs and the speed defense -4 and the 7 true damage, which is, I mean, that's nice, definitely. As far as the other things this unit has, if we scroll down, never mind, we scroll down and that's it. I'm so used to units having all of the things that they have to take 2 pages. That's funny. All right, let's look at where we have this unit in the tier list. So, as a nuke, I do think this is a really nice nuke. And keep in mind, please, this is pure nuke, okay? I would rather have Winter Edelgard and Alencia over this unit, absolutely. But I do think this unit is going to have a lot of nuking power. The debuffs in the meta right now are running rampant, and this is a way to take advantage of them, which is really nice. If you think of Micaiah, I mean, that unit is everywhere and just debuffing everyone. This is gonna be a fun unit, and particularly on defense, there's some fun things you can play with a unit this bulky. If you know this unit is going to go in and survive, you can use this unit as a Wings of Mercy beacon and a lot of other really fun things. But spots on defense are really hard to come by. Like, defenses have to do a lot right now, and so it's hard to have toy units, you know what I mean? But I mean, we just talked about Nurgle, and pairing a unit with bulk with Nurgle can make sure this unit survives, and then, you know, all of the unit's bonuses are gone, and yeah, that is a thing you can use this unit for. Just understand that right now our melee nukes do a lot more, to be frank. I mean, if you think about Sharena and how many actions she gets, as well as the fact that she's really tanky, and then you go down to Alencia and Winter Edelgard, there are a lot of really neat things these units do. And then we have Niðavellir, and I was really excited about this unit, but I really wanted him to have a PRF. I've been doing a lot of studying on what this unit does just because I knew he was upcoming, and honestly, he was kind of a terror in the Tempest Trials. I'm very glad they didn't give him Blazing Thunder as they did here. Now, this is 100% an AoE machine. There are also, this is one of the things we talked about nukes, like this unit also gives to the team as well. I mean, that's Hexblade and special cooldown is fantastic, but let's get further into Niðavellir Ballista. So we have Slaying, which is, you really need that on an AoE unit. You have first attack, it's 30% DR, you get attack speed 6 plus 20% of the speed, which is excellent, and then you get true damage of 20% of the speed, and that adds on to your AoE, which is really important. That's a huge deal for a nuke like this and makes this unit pretty valuable. Then you have at the start of turn 1 through 4, we have that weird mechanic that drives me crazy because I always forget about it on turn 5 and I don't Canto away, and that drives me nuts. But Hexblade unit and allies within 2, you get Canto, distance traveled +1, max of 4, and that is incredibly valuable, and we've seen how good that is in the player's hands. And then you get cooldown -3 unit and cooldown -1 to allies within 2 spaces. So first off the bat, this unit will not be on defense. That Canto distance +1 is just a killer on defense because the unit will go off into the ether, might get danced, and will be so far away that the unit won't be able to get back. Like it's just a mess. So will this unit be fun on offense? Absolutely. And we have enough actions with a lot of other supports that you can use him there. Probably the way you're going to be able to use this unit most is in summoner duels. I would like to see the matchup versus Ike, but the problem is on there's so many ways people are giving Ike AoE resistance in the form of Lumera or Gateau. I know Gateau isn't really in Summoner Duels, but Lumera is definitely there. And the other thing is this is going up against Ike's defense. I'd have to see the matchup, but if you look at well, let's finish this up. Verge of Death, I love Verge of Death. This is an excellent skill. Seal Defense Res 3. These are okay. I was never just a huge fan of these to begin with, and you're probably going to be replacing that with something else. Most likely the Assassin Strike. Even though we have Breath of Life, I still think you can get a lot of value out of that skill. And then, yeah, I mean, this doesn't even come with the C skill. I really thought this was going to have a preference AoE was what I was thinking, but that didn't happen. If you look at this unit, I've got this unit in tier 0. I like this one a lot. Real quickly, I had some questions on this tier list right here, and understand that this is I talked about this a little bit last time, but a couple of folks missed it. This is all based on one thing, and that's how well you do against Ike. That is it, because that is the thing a nuke has to do right now, period. That is the only thing this is here. And the biggest question I got was on Legendary Shez, and Legendary Shez with enough investment, but with enough investment is actually pretty good against Ike. So that's why she has climbed so high. Back to Niðavellir. I want to see how this unit does, but I like how everything is stacking up, and I think this might be something that's really fun and able to take out Ike in the right circumstances, because you always have to caveat that with Ike. He is just a monster right now. And now we have the unit that completely stole the spotlight in Eirika, who is dressed up like Ephraim again. And this is kind of neat. I like this. The whole thing where it talks about how her brother Ephraim and how they're very attuned, and then she's an attuned hero. I like when IS kind of has a nod to their past and to their games and works that in. It shows an attention to detail that I really, really enjoy. So I've paused this for long enough. So Soniki comes in and tries to smack Eirika, and that's not going to work because Eirika's a really good unit. I'm a big fan of this, but I mean, of course, the thing you should be asking is this worth it to get if I've already got Ike? But let's get into what this unit does first. So you've got Sisterly Axe, and this has Slaying, Phantom Speed +7. At the start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants unit and ally within 2 spaces, attack speed +6. That was a lot of stuff for not much. And then Dodge. Dodge is not great right now, just to be frank. There's so much piercing that dodge has kind of gone by the wayside, and we're really looking more at any sort of flat damage reduction or daunts. So it's okay. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants Omni plus 5+ foes within 3 rows and 3 columns times 3, max of 14. There's the new thing is to get 14 all stats. So I am waiting. I'm anxiously waiting to when we get regularly more stats in bonuses than we did in Gen 1 units. And so I'm waiting. It's gonna happen soon. So, and then reduces damage by 20% of unit speed. And then you get 50% DR piercing. So that is the big thing there. The flat damage reduction is excellent. And this is something Oblivion talks a lot about, but flat damage reduction is only good when paired with regular damage reduction. And this is it. The piercing is excellent, and the healing is also very, very underrated and good. If you're looking at just the axe, you will be forgiven if you think, this is okay. But next up we have an inheritable special in Gust, and this is boost special damage by 50% of unit speed when special triggers, if units or foe special is ready, or if unit or foe special triggered before or during this combat, and if unit speed is greater than foe speed -4, reduces damage from foe's next attack during combat by 40%. It's such a long way to basically say, as long as you have greater than or equal to foe speed -4, you get 40% unpierceable DR. That's really what's going on here. And that's mixed with the flat damage reduction and the regular damage reduction. It makes this unit already very bulky. Next up we have D-Bonus Doubler, which is my current favorite A skill for tanks. I love this. I'm waiting for lulls to just take over and render the skill useless, and I will be sad on that day. But until then, let's move on, because what we're really looking at here is Moonlit Bangle Q. All right, so this is where things get interesting, and this is if foe initiates combat and unit speed is greater than or equal to foe speed -4, unit can counterattack before foe's first attack. We have speed-based Vantage, folks. I love Vantage. Have I said that enough on this channel? I love Vantage. It is so much fun. And anyway, inflicts attack speed defense -5 on foe during combat. Unit deals damage equals 25% of foe's defense. That's a nice amount of true damage. That is really good. Grants 1 cooldown before unit's first attack, and grants 1 cooldown before unit's follow-up attack, and neutralizes guard. That is a nice set of skills for someone who is going to be a Vantage tank. So the deal here is, I mean, nukes have been getting bulkier. Just look at Nurgle and Micaiah. Even Micaiah, because of the daunts she gets very bulky. And this unit, the way she is going to try to combat that is just with massive amounts of true damage. And I think she is going to succeed for now. The problem with Vantage has always been you have a Hardy Bearing seal, and folks generally figure Vantage out very quickly. What is in her favor is that, well, let's get to the tier list in just a second. We need to talk about Null Sea Disrupt E. Folks have been waiting for this for so long. This is a really nice thing to give out to older Omni tanks and gives them a chance to be able to compete. If you think about Lagoo's Friend 4 does a very good job with that. Lagoo's Friend 4 and Godlike Reflexes is just the standard now, and it's really good. Like, it helps a ton. Now you're going to be able to use Gust and a couple of other different things to get that as well. That is, and we didn't talk about this, I should have, Gust is going to be really good for your fast omnitanks, whereas Lagoo's Friend 4 is so good for your slower, bulky, high defense omnitanks. So it'll be nice to have either of those and be able to use them, and also kind of free up your B skill for some things. Will they be as good as the Godlike Reflexes Lagoo's Friend 4 combo? It just depends on the unit, and we'll see. I'm thinking about doing a video on all the new specials because we've gotten so many, and it's different ones have different places where they're really fun. But anyway, so there are a lot of things they're giving to older Omni tanks in hopes that they can catch up to Ike. Do they? No. But they give them a chance, and this is something that on bonus season I could give to my Sharena, my OG Sharena, and really help her out a ton. That's a really long way of saying I like this. Let's look at the tier list here. I have got her under Ike, and the question that we have that has yet to be answered is how close to Ike is she? My guess is right now, I think she is closer than folks are going to give her credit for, but I think she will fade faster than Ike. Ike just has so very many things in his favor, and Vantage tanks in general, the whole thing with Eirika is she's going to need to be able to kill in one hit. Ike can do that because Ike is special. I'm not positive that Eirika can, and we'll find out. I will tell you that all the Vantage heads are going nuts right now, and that is rightfully so. I think this is a really fun unit. I think this unit is going to be bulky enough that she can take a hit. That's really important, because if she can't kill in one hit, she needs to be able to take a hit and then retaliate. So that's going to be a big deal. If you pair her with someone like Veil, it means it's less likely that you're going to be hit with that special on that first hit the opponent has, and you'll be able to retaliate, and most likely in 2 hits this unit is going to be able to take out almost everybody. But yeah, I like this unit a lot. This unit is really good. I just don't think she is Ike good, and that is actually great for anyone who loves Vantage, because you can get a lot of mileage out of this unit without having to worry about her being the tip top of the meta. If you'd like to see more of my content, I'm gonna roll the dice here and have whatever YouTube decides up, and we'll see how good that suggestion is. Members, you are amazing. Thank you so much for all you do. We had an amazing stream this past week. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.